Transit Sports TV roundup of Week 6 EPL. We talked about a few games, very interesting and huge results. This weekend, Week 6 of EPL started with a win for Brentford at home to Manchester United, 3-1 in that game. For me personally, I'm not going to fault the United players in this game because United had more possession. They had shots on target. They even had a higher SG than Brighton in that game. I'm not going to fault the players' attitude this time around, but they still lost the game. What's your take on Manchester United, especially this game against Brentford?
Oh, United they have some issues. It's just the open midfield that's the problem. The coach is sticking to what he's been doing, playing Bruno Fernandes in the middle, pairing him with one person that does all the work, while Bruno pretty much just paces around and looks for somebody to blame for stuff. So that is the problem. That is the problem with United's strategy. Sesko was able to fashion a chance and score, but as long as they keep doing this thing, they are sacrificing their midfielders to accommodate Bruno Fernandes. And at the end of the day, it doesn't augur well for team spirit, and they'll keep suffering. Look, they play Sunderland next. And woe betide them if they think they can walk in and beat Sunderland, just like that. Sunderland are a surprise package. They are
Yeah,
fourth or fifth position or so. So, United need to do something and do something fast. And that something is to change their strategy, right? Beef up your midfield, give your team a chance. Sacrifice one of Konha or Mbeumo. Yes, they can come from the bench. Move Bruno. If you have to play Bruno Fernandes all the time, move him up a little bit where he's most effective. Protect your defense, right?
exactly. And so what is wrong with playing Ugarte and Casemiro behind Bruno? What's wrong with that? And letting Cunha, Shesko, and maybe Mbeumo to play from the front. Like you said, because when a team cannot win games, keep losing games, the first thing you do is to be difficult to beat first. Regardless of everything, that would be the first priority. Because from drawing games, you go into winning games. I don't know. I don't think Amorim has a solution to United because I believe that their problem is way, way massive and bigger than talking about Amorim. But again, his primary responsibility is to help this team get results. And I think he's beginning to get it wrong and he needs to do something differently. Otherwise, he can't. Obviously, they say the highest level of stupidity is to be completely doing the same thing and trying to expecting different results. I will move on to Chelsea. 3-1 as well, but theirs was at home to Brighton. Again, they took a lead. And out of nowhere, obviously, they got the red card. And the game turned on its head. Could Maresca have done any better? And what could he have done? For me, especially with regard to the fact that Chelsea got a red card.
Well, it's really the same thing. He's being let down by his team. He's also letting his team down with his selection, right? Once the red card happened, it looks like he hasn't really learned from what happened last time. He tends to pack it in and get his team to defend. They were leading at that point. They were even in a stronger position than they were in their last game, right? So he kind of packed it in, and then they ended up losing the game. So Maresca, he doesn't inspire confidence. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
As
like
a
I've been
coach,
saying for a long time, that team doesn't have identity. You can't really say this is how Chelsea plays. Like
yeah,
you mentioned, when they got that red card, you were one goal up. I know you're
mm,
playing at home, but what the first thing you're supposed to do is to make your change the structure to be a little bit more compact because you can no longer go toe to toe. And Brighton
yes,
is a team that knows how to keep the ball on the ground and that can play football. So you can't
mm,
really go toe to toe with them with 9 men, 9 outfield players. But what the Maresca did these changes and still kept it open. And that's what
mm,
made it possible for Brighton to come back. Even after the Brighton got their equalizer, Chelsea was still very open. And
mm.
and that's what you get. I don't know this talk about packing the balls or playing on a counter is a style of football, and sometimes situations in games necessitate you to do that. So I don't think there's any shame in you being one man down, leading 1-0, and trying to be a little bit more compact and more conservative. And he failed to do that. And what did Chelsea get? They got their loss. And that takes me to the next point. I also believe that the owners have not helped Maresca in the sense that this squad, by the close of transfer window this summer, was not ready to compete at the highest level. I was convinced about that. I know man like if he also mentioned it here when I asked him that question. This team is not complete in terms of the departmental arsenals that they have in that team to go into the season. And they don't take time. Chelsea might not make top four and probably will not even finish the group stage Champions League. I don't know what your opinion is with regards to how that team is made up.
True. We know, we've said it several times, that EPL is a confidence league. If your opponents start to gain confidence and feel that they can get stuff out of you, they will try their best to get that out of you. So that's the danger I see for Chelsea. They have a good enough squad, they have good players, they have a good coach. They just need to get down to the basics, especially defensively. They need to be more focused defensively, more committed defensively, and get back into the way they play. They are a good side on any given day. So yeah, I think that's what it takes. But do not allow yourself to lose games in such a manner that your opponents become more confident.
And disrespectful, yes.
That's when the trouble will start.
Liverpool traveled to Selhurst Park and lost 2-1 to Crystal Palace, a team that has beaten them. I think this is the third time now. I think they beat them in the FA Cup, beat them in Charity Shield, and beat them now in the league at almost the same scoreline. And my question to you is, you remember after the transfer window, I don't know if it was you and I that were having the conversation, I said that this is a time for us to really know what an slot is made of. Because when he came in, last season was a free hit for him. Even if he had failed, they would say it's not his team. So he didn't really have any fear or any kind of pressure on him to deliver. But now he has gone in and spent big this summer. Is this pressure getting on an slot? I saw him yesterday in a mood that I've not really seen him before, even before Crystal Palace got their winning goal. Then obviously after the winning goal, I saw him on the touchline with antics that are not really normally things you associate with an slot.
Yes, I noticed it. Ironically, with all the added time that Liverpool have had this season so far, yesterday they were given I think added time of 6 minutes, right? The referee overshot the added time that was given. Typically, that should be to Liverpool's advantage, because it was 1-1.
Against them.
Yeah, he worked against them. The funny thing is that when he worked against them, and Slot now rushed to the AR to complain, why is he letting so many? So why did he let this kind of time pass? But while his team were chasing a winner, he didn't complain about it.
He didn't remember that the time had passed.
Yeah.
And you said this last week that when I asked you about this keeping things late, is he a channel of champions, or you told me that the answer was that as an Arsenal fan, you believe that they cannot continue doing that. At some point, they're going to be caught, with it. And that happened yesterday. Then let's close that by talking about Crystal Palace. I think that team is highly underrated. Because this win is not a one-off. They are unbeaten now in 17 games. I didn't know that. So, but what I'm talking about is, I watched Crystal Palace. You can't really say this is how they play, but you know that there's a way they play. What do I mean by that? They don't have this pattern, but they also have a way they structure themselves. They don't stay, they're not overly compact, but they're also difficult to play through or play against. Then Mateta, since last season, has become a different beast.
Crystal Palace are a very, very good side, coached by a very, very good coach, Oliver Glasner. They've done their work quietly. I watched one of his interviews at preseason, right? He was saying Okay, well, especially when Arsenal were about to buy Berichy Eze. They had confirmed it by then. He was saying, well, that he has been telling the board that he needs players, he need additions, but that so far nothing has come, and he will continue to work with the boys. That one thing he is happy about is that his boys come to work every day, happy and enthusiastic, and you can see it in their play, right? Crystal Palace has some really good young players, and all of them are pulling their weight. Everyone in that squad, led by their captain, right? So they are a team that are on course to qualify for Europe next season.
Yeah, and one of the biggest win for them this summer was not selling Gay. And if they continue to win games and stay in good position, I don't even see the reason why he should go to Liverpool in January or even next year. Because I think what he was pushing for was to have a place in the World Cup for England. But with the way Crystal Palace is performing, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't make it to the World Cup. If I were him, I would stay with this team to the end of the season. Then whatever happens from there.
If I were an investor, next to Arsenal, Crystal Palace is the most attractive club in London. The location is excellent. They're in London. I love their colors, blue and red. You can do so much with those colors. There's a family feel to the club.
Yeah.
There's also a level of professionalism.
Yeah, the way they go about their business.
The way they go about their business.
And they also show ambition.
Right? So, yeah. If you load up that club with some money now, you'll be surprised at what can happen. They can blow up.
They start to retain their talents, and with this coach, give him another 2-3 years in that club, you will go.
And think of getting a new stadium also.
Yeah, City 5, Burnley 1, and Manchester City, are they back?
They are back. Manchester City are back, but not back. they are back in their dominant best when they faced lower opposition, right? Perhaps not back at their dominant best when they face the bigger boys. So it remains to be seen. Burnley, of course,
but the problem is they still concede goal regardless of who they play against. That's the biggest point. Their defense is not to be trusted. Aston Villa, to close the show, got their first win of the season today after getting their first goal last week. Then this week they went even further to get their first win of the season with a 3-1 win over Fulham, who I think kind of lost concentration. And I don't know, in 2025, somebody is still starting a game with Adama Traore in your team. I don't know what that guy is. He should go and be doing bodybuilding. But let's focus on Aston Villa. Did you make of anything of Villa in the game today?
Yeah, I know. I thought they were overthinking it, but I mean, these goals will give them some relief, and will perhaps open up their game more. Right? Watkins seemed to have been under mental pressure. Now he's gotten a goal. He also played well. McGinn played well, and so they finally started to involve Emi Buendia. And they brought back Emi Martinez to the goal. So I think he's done. Unai has introduced some things to kind of get them back to where they were. That's the word to do. When you have dependable people that have served you in the past, get the team recalibrate, go where you were before, and then take it.
Then build from there. Exactly.
And that's what he tried to do today.
Going back to the basics. Going back to the basics. Yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Of course, we talked about so many games this weekend, very interesting results. Let's know what you think about these games and our opinion. I also want to know what you think as well. And don't forget, it was a huge week, and we go again next weekend. And although as usual, it's always interesting to listen to you, to talk with you, to discuss football with you on this beautiful game of football. Thank you for coming to the show. One more time, our viewers out there, don't forget to subscribe if not done so. Please share our contents. Please share our contents to other people.
Let me just encourage our guys, man like Ifi, Nimi, the guys. I'm sure they thought probably after the weekend that Arsenal have come out stronger than most, that it will be a miserable show for them. So they decided to take off.
Sure.
You guys take heart. We look forward to having you back. And whenever you come back, we'll still kind of touch.
We'll touch on this weekend. Don't run away from this one. Thank you, my brother. I will
Mhm.
see you again
Thank
next
you,
week.
bro.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Watch Strength TV right now.